So before this begins, I have a little warning here for potty humor. It's my potty, and I'll cry if I want to. Sorry, that was pretty crappy. At this point, I can already see my viewer retention rates going down the toilet. Hi, I'm Matt, and today we're going to be talking about how to be quick or witty, whether you're on the stage or at the table. We've all had those moments where you think of the perfect thing to say, the perfect comeback, right after you've left the party. Oh yeah? Maybe your face? That would have been so good. Maybe next reunion. Or maybe it's the perfect joke that pops into your head, but right after the conversation has already jumped onto another topic. Objet de fart, right? What? What did he say? What are you saying? Get out of my house. How do you prevent this? How do you strike at the perfect time? The right angle at the precise time at which the iron is hot. Stop judging your ideas. If you're like me, someone who used to second guess everything I wanted to say, should I ask Miss Davis if I can use the bathroom? Every single action I wanted to do, should I get up to use the bathroom? Then stop it. Right now. It's a lot easier said than done, right? To think of an idea without any certainty of how good it is, and then just say it or do it. What if someone doesn't like it? Ew, he asked to use the bathroom? What if people think it's stupid? Only stupid people use the bathroom. What if people laugh at me? You're gonna use the bathroom. Or if I'm trying to be funny, what if people don't laugh at me? Did he really think he was being funny with this recurring bathroom bit? If I'm at the table, what if people shoot down my idea? Why does he keep trying to make bathroom jokes happen in the middle of the dungeon? These judgments keep you from being quick or witty in the moment, because before anyone is able to hear these ideas, you're already shooting them down. And if any idea happens to survive your judgment process, it's likely too late. The moment's passed, and now we'll never know. So if you want to stop judging your ideas, I've got some steps for you. 1. Lower the bar. When I first started doing improv, I had a very clear idea of the kind of humor I wanted to do. I wanted to be the smart, clever, witty guy. I didn't want to be punny, I didn't want to be reliant on physical humor, and I didn't want to use references. Now, if you've played in or watched any of my games, you know that those are like all I do now. They're now my biggest strengths, but it took a while to change my standard. If you have an idea of what kind of humor you want to portray, but are struggling with the idea of being quick or witty, then I'd like to challenge you to remove those barriers. Puns are often groaned at. Many people seem to hate them, but they're one of the quickest ways to immediately get a reaction, good or bad. And if you want to learn more about making puns, check this video out. But if you have the idea in mind that you don't want to be a pun person, then that's exactly what I want you to start with. On the same vein, if you're the type of person who doesn't want to make references, then I want you to start with that. Essentially, if you're having trouble coming up with things, then I don't want you to further limit yourself as far as the tools you can use to create humor. 2. Limit yourself? Yep. Limit yourself. Not necessarily in the type of humor you allow yourself to do, but rather the content, the material that you're using to create your jokes. Focus in on something. It's a lot easier to make a pun about, say, breakfast foods than it is if you wanted to make up a pun out of nowhere on the spot. When you have every option in the world to choose from, it can be overwhelming. Let's jump into an example. One of my favorite games in improv is called pickup lines. The idea is that you're coming up with cheesy pickup lines on the spot that you might use to flirt with someone based on a suggestion. So if I've got breakfast foods as my suggestion and pickup lines as my game, then my options have been cut down significantly. All I have to do is think of puns or innuendos that have to do with those two elements. And since I've established the game already in an improv context, then you already have an expectation. You already know what you're about to get. All the pieces are set, and now all I have to do is find connections between the two. In essence, pushing away everything in my head that doesn't have to do with breakfast foods and romance or flirting. And I've got to say, breakfast foods is still a pretty big category. So there are a lot of different directions you can go in. For example, hey, let's go out. I'm tired of waffling about. Or you could mine the rich vein of cereals. Hey, are you Frosted Flakes? Because you look great! Or you could make a little reference about breakfast that's relevant today. Hey, unlike McDonald's breakfast, for you, I'm available all day. By cutting down on the potential options, you give yourself the freedom of focus. If I asked you, for example, to just keep listing words at random, it can feel a little overwhelming. But if instead I told you to focus in and give me a list of cereals, colors, fast food chains, then it gets a lot easier. But how do you limit yourself? How do you do this if you're in a conversation, if you're in a scene, or if you're in D&D at the table? Well, it's actually already being done for you in the moment. When you're in a conversation, it's not about everything in the world. You're likely already talking about something in particular. Now that's the narrowed field. If you were talking about horror movies, then you have all the knowledge that you already know about horror movies at your disposal. If you're in a TTRPG, then you've narrowed down by what game you're playing, where you are, what you're doing, what quest you're undertaking, what class, race, background you're playing. Then it's just a matter of tying together the opportunities that are presented to you. Number 3, fail. TV, movies, stand-up specials, professional improvisers. All of these have this in common. They're good, sometimes, but the good ones are good because they've failed so much already. And they continue to be good because they continue to fail. Rather, they didn't let that failure stop them. They fail and keep going. You're going to fail too. And it's up to you. If you really want to get good at being quick or witty, whether it's at the table or on stage, then you're going to keep failing. The probability of a joke landing, especially when you're improvising it in the moment, is very slim. But those are still better chances than if you didn't try. Miss Davis? I no longer need to use the bathroom. So we talked a little bit about being quick on your feet at the table. If you can take the steps to broaden the approach, focus the material, and fail, then you're well on your way. So, thank you so much for watching. If you like this, please like it. If you want to see more, then please subscribe. It helps me out a lot. And if there's any other material that you would like me to cover, then please let me know in the comments. But until next time, take care.